Welcome to the third episode of the Oneness of God podcast. My name is Don Madarelli, from Sydney, Australia, and I want to teach you a nugget about the oneness of God. When Jesus was born, he was called Emmanuel, which means, God with us. Jesus is God. 1 Timothy 3:16 declares that God was manifest in the flesh. Jesus is God. Twice, Paul calls Jesus the image of the invisible God. Jesus is God. Isaiah 40 verse 3 speaks of a voice crying in the wilderness, saying, "Prepare the way for Yahweh." Matthew chapter 3 speaks of John the Baptist with the same message, and he was preparing the way for Jesus. Jesus is Yahweh. Christians understand that Jesus is God, but many do not notice what Jesus is not. Jesus is not called God the Son with us, he is not called God the Son manifest in flesh. Jesus is not even called the image of the invisible Son of God. If Jesus was a distinct person, separate from the Father, wouldn't the New Testament tell us that God the Son was manifested in the flesh, or that Emmanuel means Jehovah Jr. is with us? In fact, Jesus is never called God the Son, the Holy Spirit is never called God the Holy Spirit. Jesus is called the Son of God and the Son of Man. There is only one person in the Godhead, who is God, and it was God who was manifested in the flesh. It was not God the Son, it was not Michael the Archangel. Listen to Isaiah 9:6 and ask yourself, who is really incarnated in the body of Jesus? For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Colossians 2:7 states that for in him, Jesus, dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. All of God was in Jesus, not just 1/3 of God.